How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 3rd of June 2021. I hope everybody's having an awesome day. I just wanted to do some analysis on Binance. There's been some news today from Swissborg. They released the BNB yield, so it makes sense that I'll just kind of go through it, and give us a bit of an indication as to what could potentially be unfolding on the Binance coin. So, if anybody remembers, this was the last time I kind of looked at Binance. I do look at it on a daily basis, kind of skim through it. But I did this analysis on Binance quite a while ago, and I was discussing this area down here. And as price started to accelerate into this area down here, I was saying that price is looking to come here. I'll have to go down to the daily chart to show you what that 15% absorbed means. It was here as price really accelerated and it came into this. I made a reference to the weekly range, and then I made a reference to this daily liquidity pool within the primary weekly liquidity pool. And you can see that price came down, it dipped into it around about 15%, rallied a little bit, and I was saying if price does come back down, it's going to come straight for this, and it still will be within the weekly liquidity pool. And you can see the price response away from that is beautiful, very, very nice. If anybody was lucky enough to catch this down here, kudos to you. But if we go over to the weekly chart for a second, I just want to kind of illustrate something. Somebody asked me a question, and it's a question that I get often. It's not just this one person asked me this question and that's it. This is a recurring question that happens throughout, which has happened or I've received, throughout the years. And the question is this, how can you know where price is going? Yeah, but the question was asked in a way as if to say, it's all well and good saying, well, price is down here and it's going to come for this level and blah 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 blah, but how do you use this information? What's the point? Yeah. And I was trying to explain to this person, and as I try to explain to people throughout the years, it's not a question of whether or not I knew this was going to sell off. Yeah, and we're just talking about Binance right now. I didn't know it was going to sell off. Nobody knows it's going to sell off. But as price is starting to sell off and it's starting to accelerate to the downside, straight away, because of the structure of this weekly chart and because I know where the imbalance is, because I know where the liquidity is resting, it makes absolutely sense for my eye to go straight to this. Yeah, straight away. And this is why it's up here. And this is why when I do the analysis real time, yeah, as I've done many, many times in trading rooms, as I've done many times with people live, I reference these areas and I say, look, price has to reach for something, okay? It has to reach for something. Now, over the course, let's assume that this wasn't just one full week and it took, say, 3 weeks, for example, and price is currently sitting here. The only place where there's going to be open liquidity, right, that is going to be enough on this weekly time frame, in quotation, big, it's a big time frame. The only area that's going to have enough liquidity for it to deal off what it's picked up here has to be down here. There's nowhere in between. There's nowhere. You can go down to the daily chart and you can look at some little areas and you can say, well, there's an area here, there's a potential area here, and obviously the biggest area is going to be down here, and that's what it's going to be gunning for straight away, because this isn't enough. This isn't enough. This isn't enough. This is enough. Yeah. And obviously you refine it right down to the daily, and if we go right down to, say, a 5-minute chart, we can find out exactly where price stopped and which liquidity pool is responsible within all of the liquidity pools on the way down as it's dealing off liquidity and trading efficiently. This isn't an efficient price move. This is efficient as price is going into this daily liquidity pool within this primary weekly liquidity pool. Okay. Now, when all of this is happening and you're kind of sitting there and you're thinking, all right, look, what do I do with this information? How do I use it real time? What's the point of all of this? Number one, it gives you confidence to know, okay, look, I don't really need to do anything. Yeah. If I was a shorter, if I'm looking to short Binance at the time when it was sitting here, for example, yeah, as an experienced trader looking at the weekly chart, I would know, okay, and obviously this isn't trade advice. I'm just giving you guys some education right now. As an experienced trader, I would know I'm going to grab it here as a short, okay, and I'm going to put my stop, say, above this area up here. It is pretty wide, but I know that the risk reward is huge, yeah, for Binance right now. So if I'm picking it up roughly around about, say, 440, I know I'm at least looking to get, around about 295. That's a good distance, yeah. And my stop, I'm bringing it down and bringing it down as price is starting to move in favor, right? I'm not anticipating yeah, I would be looking in this area on a lower time frame to find confirmation, say on the hourly, that price is indeed doing that. You know, so if we go all the way back, for example, you can see as what have I just done there? Oh, it doesn't matter. As price starts to, you know, to do this and it starts to accelerate to the downside, maybe there's a small pause like there was here. It would have been nice if it ran back up. Yeah, that would have been a nice entry in terms of a short, for example. But you know, that's what I would be looking for. I'm looking for confirmation on a lower time frame that this is indeed going to happen, right? You know, and then I'm going up the time frames. I'm trying to kind of figure things out. I need to sort this out, guys. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, it's about right. You know, and I need to find confirmation on these lower time frames that it is indeed going to do what I think it's going to do. And then I'm looking to get in, then I'm looking for my targets, then I'm looking for reasons to move my stops, and so on and so on and so on. Now that's assuming I'm a shorter, right? That's assuming that I'm looking to short the market. But if I'm not, yeah, we'll go back to the weekly. You're sitting there and price is currently here and it's starting to accelerate, and you sit down and you're just looking at 440 like, okay, this looks like it's going to probably go lower. Where's it going to go for? Okay, there's a liquidity pull down here. There's a massive imbalance to the left. The only place it makes sense that price is going to want to go is going to be down here. Okay, so I'm looking at least around about 300, yeah? So it's at 440 now. I'm looking for, you know, at least 300 for a long, for an entry to go long, right? So as price is accelerating, it hits this liquidity pool. Do I get in? No. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for confirmation. I'm waiting to see what sensitivity is there. I'm waiting to see what price does at that level. So I drop down to the lower time frames. I'm starting to kind of work through things. I'm looking at the hourly. I'm looking at the 15-minute to really break down each candle, see what's happening within that hourly time frame. And while I'm doing all of this, I'm looking for that shift in flow to the upside. I already know where the target is on the upside. I'm not going to go into it because the video is going to get way too long, but I already know where the target is on the upside. I already know where we've come from. I already know what liquidity it's picked up while it was here, while it was here, while it was here. Yeah, and I know this because I've already done it on the lower time frames. Again, the video would be way too long if I start going into that. You know, so I already know the information way ahead of time. I know the likelihood of price coming down here is going to be very high. So as price comes down here, yeah, and I know that all of that liquidity that it's picked up here and all the areas I've just said, it has to offload and pair somewhere. There has to be open liquidity, right? That's large enough to deal with all of this liquidity, and it's down here. So the likelihood of it going down there is very high. Okay, so when it gets down here, I start to look at what price is doing. How is it dealing off that liquidity? Is it quick? Is it fast? Is it slow? Is it slow? You know, is it efficient? Is it all over the place? You know, did it capitulate as it started to run down here, and so on and so on and so on? And you start to piece all of this together, and I'm running through all the time frames, the 4 hour, the hourly, the 50. I'm looking for confirmation, and as soon as I see it, I'm in. I've already worked out ahead of time where the targets are to the upside. I already know what my risk management is. I already know what I'm looking to do, and I'm obviously talking as a trader right now. I already know what the risk management is. I already know where I'm going to be moving my stop to way ahead of time. I'm so prepared to take advantage of an opportunity right once it presents itself, and in this case obviously on Binance and many others, but we're just discussing Binance. The opportunity was there to grab it down here, find a really nice entry, okay, where the risk reward makes perfect sense, and to sit in this for a while it's running up into a huge imbalance that it has to start filling in. It has to plug these holes as it's going back up, you know, and then once it gets back up to this level up here, and I'm going to refine this slightly to here just to encompass the body of this candle and the small consolidation that happened between the red candle and the down candle and the up candle here. This consolidation is what I'm referencing. Binance will probably come into the sort of 475 area, maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, but I'm expecting Binance to at least come into this area over a longer period of time. Might take another week, might take 2 weeks, it might just do it today, tomorrow, the next day, who knows, okay? But this is where I'm expecting price to go. So the most important takeaway from this video is not that, you know, I am able to pick out all of these points. This comes from experience, and obviously it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to get this video out in time before the Smart Talk, because in the Smart Talk tonight, and I guess for future reference, I'm going to be discussing how I learnt to trade over the years, okay, and it's going to be quite interesting for you guys to hear. So it's unfortunate that I can't get this video out in time for you to listen to it and then get get over to the Smart Talk, but we will, or me and Ben, and I'll have to do it myself because I'm doing the Smart Talk this time. I will re-record the Smart Talk and make it available to everybody, through whatever channels we're going to be doing that through. Me and Ben are obviously going to be taking care of that. So this will be available. It's going to be very, very interesting to hear how I learned to put all of this stuff into practice. Okay, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but when you start to understand these levels, the areas, the way price is moving, the way price deals off liquidity, the way it picks it up, it order flows, the shifts, the imbalances, all of this stuff, when you start to figure it all out, what that does for you is it puts you in a position where you have no choice actually but to be disciplined, because everything is laid out for you, the levels, the liquidity, the areas. Just to give you a very quick example before I go, if I absolutely believe 100% and have confidence that price is going to come into this area of liquidity down here, Davies, and let's say price is right here, and you sit down and you're looking at price and it's there. None of this has happened yet, and it's right there. And you absolutely believe that price is going to come down here, and you're only looking to go long. Everything's laid out for you. Yeah, it's all there. You can't do anything until it comes down here. Yeah, so you just sit back. If it never comes down there, then you don't do anything with Binance forever. Yeah, it's a bit extreme, but you get my point. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I'm going to be talking a lot today, so I'm going to kind of finish up the video, get over to the Smart Talk in the next sort of hour or so, and then I will do another update at some point throughout the week, maybe over the weekend. I've got some things that I need to take care of over this weekend, so it's probably going to be a Sunday video. But we'll see how it all kind of pans out. And no news on everything else. I've already done the analysis on CHSB and Bitcoin. Everything else is pretty much the same as those two. Muted, slow. And we'll see what happens, as price continues to kind of unfold, in the coming days and weeks. So I wish everybody a great evening. Take care, and I will speak to you soon.